Hello everyone and welcome to another action figure review for the latest Tamashii Nations Bandai SH Figuarts for the Avengers Endgame line. And their latest character is Thor. He has arrived this January and that means it completes the original team, the Avengers of Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, Hulk, Hawkeye and now Thor. So in this video I'll be reviewing the figure, taking a look at the accessories and comparing it with its fellow members in the Endgame line. So let's first take a look at the packaging. It is the standard Endgame colors, which is the white, blue and with the red logo, which is kind of resembling the quantum suit we saw in the movie. I actually prefer the older boxes from the Iron Man, Infinity War, Age of Ultron. Those ones were a bit more detail. So for example, we have the Scarlet Witch Infinity War one, which I'll be reviewing as well. And you can see that it is much more detailed with a photo. I just like the overall design of it. So if we just first take a look at the size of the box, this is actually kind of surprising. I thought for a character like Thor, it'll be slightly bigger. That's what I imagined, which is the same size as the Black Widow one. Well, kind of, maybe it's slightly smaller. But then next to the Captain America one, you can see with Captain America, plenty of accessories. So it's definitely going to be slightly thinner. And of course, it is much smaller than the Hulk box. So now we can take a look at the front. You can see the usual logos, Avengers Endgame, Tamashii Nations Bandai, stickers as well. On the side, SH Figuarts 4, and then some more stickers. This side, we have the Avengers logo, SH Figuarts 4. At the top, the same, SH Figuarts and 4. At the bottom, it's a small image with some details. And then on the back is the usual pictures of the figure in different poses. So now we can open the action figure. So as well as the action figure, we have the usual sheets inside. We have the guide to how to put on the accessories, a thank you note with the website to a survey, and then the reflective backdrop which you can use for the action figure. Here's a quick overview of the action figure still inside its packaging. So you can see we have the Stormbreaker, some interchangeable hands, and behind that pack is the Mjolnir. So let's take a look at the overall look of the Thor action figure, and it is kind of what I expected from Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts. Highly detailed, nice sculpting, nice colours, and of course it does resemble the actor Chris Hemsworth. So first I'm going to zoom into the head sculpt and show you the face. And I'll say that they've done a pretty good job, which SH Figuarts normally do with their characters. Maybe on the side from different angles, not as much. And then for the hairstyle, it is a nice sculpt as well. I do like it. And they've gone for a dark brown gold color. And then on the back of the hair, at the bottom, it actually does tilt side to side. I don't think they've done this purposely. It's just the way the hair is built. And then we can take a look at the armor, which of course I do like. It does resemble the ones we see in the comics with this all black, and the arms is a shiny silk color. We don't have a more noticeable belly like we see in the promo pictures. This is how it looks like at the moment. But if I just tilt it upwards slightly, you can see it does have a bigger belly, but it does create a slight gap at the bottom here. But it's all black. I do like the costume overall. For the legs, nice sculpting with the boots as well. This is what it looks like from the back. For the cape, there's no wiring, but they've used a soft cloth material, which I do like, but you can't really create any shapes. So it's black on the inside, red on the outside, and they've got a gap in between as well. I don't know if that's how it looks like in the real costume, but this is the way they've built this one. So that's the overall look of the Thor figure. So now we can test out the articulation of the action figure, which normally SH Figuarts do a good job. So I expect no different for this one. Maybe some limitations for the head sculpt, as the shoulder pads are quite high. So let's first test out the head sculpt. So it can be moved side to side, left and right. You can actually do a 360 spin if you wanted to, but the hairstyle is kind of in the way, so you're going to have to slightly move it slowly over the shoulder pads. But I wouldn't really recommend it, as there is really no need for the head to go all the way around. so just keep it at the side to side movement. As for the hairstyle, as we see at the back, it can be moved side to side because it is a separate piece from the top. And then for the head sculpt, upwards not so much, downwards a bit more despite the beard. And then we can test out the arms, so it can be moved sideways, forwards and backwards, so they do rotate all the way around, which is pretty smooth. Then for the elbows, it's just single, so it can bend. And if you want to rotate the arm, you're going to have to rotate the full one. And then for the hands, it is a rotation, and then we have a hinge to push it outwards and slightly inwards as well. Then for the top half of the body, you can shift it side to side slightly, not so much, but for the bottom half, of course, that actually rotates quite a lot. And I think if you wanted to, it can go all the way around, and then you can tilt it side to side like this as well for some dodging poses if you want. Then of course you can push it downwards for the crunch. I mean, not so much because of the size of the belly. You can push it upwards for a big belly effect, but it does create a slight gap here. Then for the legs, it is the standard, so it does rotate all the way around, so you can move it sideways, forwards, backwards. Then for the bottom half of the leg, it is double jointed, so you can bend them quite far back. Then for the boot at the bottom, you can rotate it, and then there's a toe hinge. There's also a hinge for the foot. So here are all the accessories included with the action figure. We have 4 sets of interchangeable hands, the Mjolnir and the Stormbreaker. So there is no interchangeable head sculpt. So as well as the closed fist, this action figure has plenty of other interchangeable hands. We have the open palms for different types of poses. We have the slightly closed palms, such as calling for the Mjolnir. Then we have the hands to hold on to the Stormbreaker for the right and left hand, and the hands to hold on to the Mjolnir for the right and left hand. And of course we can mix and match for different types of poses. To place the Mjolnir in one of the hands, you have to take it apart. Place the bottom half inside the hand, and then place the top back on. So now for some side-by-side comparisons with the other SH Figuarts Avengers Endgame line. Next to Hawkeye, next to Black Widow, next to Hulk, next to Captain America, next to Iron Man Mark 85, and next to Thanos, and next to the Endgame Captain America from Marvel Legends. And here is the original 6 together. Some of you may be wondering if the Captain America figure can hold on to the Mjolnir. The answer is no, as none of the hands have the ability to do so. So we're going to have to wait for the final battle version of Captain America. So now for my overall opinion of this Thor action figure. It is kind of what I expected from Tamashii Nations, with the good sculpt, good paint, and of course the likeness that resembles the character we see in the Endgame movie. Of course there's plenty of interchangeable hands for different poses, and the 2 main accessories, the Stormbreaker and the Mjolnir. The only disappointment is probably there is no other alternate head sculpts, like a roaring face or the eyes with a different colour. I know in the past releases they only released a alternate head sculpt with the eyes looking to the side, which was kind of pointless. So I guess Tamashii Nations just didn't bother with this. But overall I like the look of this Thor, and they could have made it slightly better, such as adding the lightning effects to the Mjolnir, but I guess they're saving up for a final battle stage version, as they are doing with the Captain America and Iron Man. I think this figure has some good poses and does go well with the rest of the line, so I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. So I think that's about it for today's review. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up, click onto my channel for more news, toy hunts and figure reviews, including the other Avengers Endgame figures. Also, you can stay tuned as I'll be doing the Scarlet Witch Infinity War figure review next. Thanks for watching and see you next time.